Safe storage of non-restricted firearms. Owning a firearm means being responsible for it at all times, including its storage. Procedures for safe home storage must be followed so that firearms and ammunition are always secure. It is encouraged that individuals exceed legal requirements when it comes to their own personal safety standards. These examples show types of home storage that meet safety requirements. Lockable storage areas such as this cabinet or this lockable closet are appropriate to help keep firearms safe and in some instances are required by law. A non-restricted firearm must be stored unloaded and must be prevented from firing by using one of the following methods. A secure locking device, or the removal of the bolt or bolt carrier. Or the unloaded firearm is stored in a securely locked container, receptacle, or room that cannot be easily broken open or into. Lastly, the firearm must not be within easy access to ammunition, unless the ammunition is stored together with or separate from the firearm in a securely locked container or receptacle that cannot be easily broken open or into. Remember, each time a firearm is handled, the vital 4 acts must be observed. Anytime you transport a firearm or ammunition, you are responsible for understanding and complying with the laws and regulations in your part of the country. Specific restrictions and regulations may vary in different areas. For example, certain provinces or territories may require specific permits not required elsewhere in Canada. As a responsible owner and user of firearms and ammunition, you must ensure that you comply with all applicable laws and that you meet or exceed general safe practices. Display of non-restricted firearms. Every firearm on display in your home must be unloaded and cannot be displayed with or be within easy access to ammunition that can be discharged from that firearm. In addition, non-restricted firearms must be prevented from firing by using a secure locking device, such as a cable or trigger lock, or they can be displayed in a securely locked container, receptacle, or room that cannot be easily broken open or into. All displayed firearms must be kept secure. Transportation of non-restricted firearms. Always transport a firearm unloaded. During travel, store the firearms in a secure location, preferably out of sight. Because this vehicle has a trunk, the unloaded firearm must be placed in the securely locked trunk if it is necessary to leave the vehicle unattended. Having personal standards that exceed the basic safety practices are the hallmark of a responsible firearm owner. This hunter is transporting a firearm in a vehicle without a trunk or similar compartment. If he leaves the vehicle unattended, he must place the unloaded firearm out of sight and securely lock the vehicle or the part of the vehicle that contains the non-restricted firearm. This is the minimum requirement of the law. Whether a person is returning from a firing range or hunting trip, it is important to remember the care that a firearm requires and that there are social responsibilities involved in using a firearm. Firearms require maintenance. Cleaning with the proper materials should be done on a regular basis. Part of your social responsibility as a firearm user is to realize that you are responsible for your firearm at all times. Always follow the vital 4 acts in the safe use of firearms. Assume every firearm is loaded. Control the muzzle direction at all times. The trigger finger must be kept off the trigger and out of the trigger guard. See that the firearm is unloaded. Prove it safe. The steps to prove the firearm unloaded are: point the firearm in the safest available direction. Remove all cartridges. Observe the chamber. Verify the feeding path. Examine the bore. This completes the program. Thank you for your attention. And remember, always aim for safety.